Hello, Libra Rising, and welcome to your September Astrology and Tarot forecast. And I want to give all of you a huge shout out. Libras have been showing up most strongly on this channel, and so I really appreciate you. And to say thank you, I am recording this tarot and astrology horoscope first. If you're new to this channel, my name is Lisa Merrifield. I'm with Trails Edge Astrology, and my goal is to give grounded and practical astrological advice so that you can live your best life. If you haven't listened to the September forecast that I posted on Thursday, you might go back and do that. I'll link it here. And I also have a journal that I did with the transits in it so that you can just make notes of what's happening. And I'll link that in the notes below so that you can go get that if you want it. What I'm going to do today is I'll just give you some high level, some of the major transits happening. I'll tell you where they're happening in your chart and how they might be showing up for you. And then we'll pull some cards to see how the month will turn out. First of all, on September 1st, Pluto moves back into Capricorn. It's been going back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius, but it's going to move back into Capricorn for the final stretch. Now, Pluto in Capricorn transformed your fourth house, or your house of your foundation, your family, your home, any of those kinds of things. You probably have been doing some work on that since about 2008. And we're in the final home, no pun intended, stretch of that period for you. So between September 1st and November 20th, there might be some work you need to finish around shoring up your foundations, or, making sure there aren't any cracks in your basement or anything like that, both literally and figuratively. There might also be some tests. Sometimes when Pluto leaves a sign, there are some tests that go with it. And like, did you learn the things you're supposed to learn? So that all that might show up. But again, around securing your foundation, your literal home, your spiritual home, your can be your parents or your family, any of that kind of stuff is probably what has been transformed and what we'll work on in this patch in the fall, for good and for all. The other big transit that I think is worth thinking about placement with for the month is the eclipse that will happen on September 17th. And this eclipse is in Pisces and Virgo. Now, the last couple eclipses have been in Libra and Aries, which means that they have been front and center for you, that very much about, who you are, how you show up in relation to other people, and how that helps you individuate, and what that looks like. It can be super literal, like you change your hair, or you finally feel comfortable dressing the way you want to dress, or something like that. It can be really, really super literal, or it can be more figurative. Just you speak your mind a little bit more clearly, or you're able to say no or yes, or maybe you change. You get rid of some relationships, bring in other relationships, any of that kind of stuff. So that's, for the last couple of years, that's where the eclipses have been happening, but they are starting to shift into this Pisces and Virgo stage. And so on the 17th, the eclipses will be in your 6th and 12th house. And that is the house of, it can be the house of health, both like literal, like how, what kind of daily habits do I have that are impacting my day-to-day health or my day-to-day routines. It could be more spiritual health. It can be oftentimes very, very ethereal and not very 3D world-like. It can be about how you surrender to things, like what and how you serve. Maybe how you show up for yourself and for other people, how you connect in with the cosmic consciousness. So any of those kinds of things can come up. Having eclipses in the 6th and 12th house can be hard. They're not having eclipses in the 1st and 7th house is not easy either. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. And there's a shift happening. The October eclipses will go back to your 1st and 7th house, so your house of self-identity and your house of relationships. And then next year they will move. The next cycles will move back into that 6th and 12th house, that Virgo and Pisces space for you. So that's where I think the energy is going to show up. That 4th house, that family foundations, like you're going to work on that this fall, finish up last pieces that need to be finished up, and then this eclipse energy moving into this space of spiritual, physical, mental, emotional health. That how you show up for yourself and others. Um, those kinds of things are ripe for um, some illumination with this eclipse. All right, with that, let's pull some cards. I will shuffle and be right back. All right, cards are shuffled, and we are reading from the Deviant Moon Tarot. I'm trying to use some of the decks that I don't use as often, and this one was gifted to me, so it's kind of funky. I hope you like it. And then we will draw our oracle card from the Starseed Oracle. All right, let's see what came up for you, Libra Rising. All right, the first card you got for your opportunity this month is the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is about abundance. It's about like really, like having the things you need to be successful, having collected what you need to be whole and feel whole. This flip side to this, and this is your opportunity. So I think your opportunity is to step into this wholeness. I think that the shadow side of this is that sometimes like we've been striving for something and then we get it and it's like, is that it? Or I feel like there should be more. Or I feel like I should be doing more. And so I think the opportunity is really to recognize what you do have, what you have built, the material things you have achieved um, this month, and recognize that sometimes you'll feel like you should have more or you should be doing more, and maybe let that go. So something about um, something about abundance, having what you need, having the fruits of your labors come into being, and having that success and security that you've been striving for. There's an opportunity for that in this month, which sort of makes sense with Pluto in your fourth house. Maybe there's some foundational pieces that you've been working on, and oops, cell phone's going off. um, some foundational pieces you've been working on that are really starting to solidify and come into place. So that's what that's making me think of. Your challenge, so interesting, is the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is all about giving and receiving and reciprocity. But as you can see in this card, it's often not equal. There's, somebody over somebody else. And this is a Libran struggle. You can see all sides of the issue, and you're very good um, at recognizing and finding the balance and the harmony in relationships. But sometimes it leads to unequal kinds of treatment, and sometimes you're above somebody, and sometimes you're the one groveling. And so I think the challenge this month is some kind of like what does an equal relationship look like? What are you really in the places that you're in? Are you really meeting people as equals, or are you contorting yourself to make things balance, um, so that things are copacetic in the way you want it? I think it's so interesting that you have the Nine of Pentacles, this abundance card, that sometimes you feel like I should have more, I should be doing more, and then there's this reciprocity card, um, both very earthy cards, and I think speaking to the fact that there's something in your life that you really have the opportunity to step into and enjoy, and make sure that in your relationships that it's equal, and that the give and take is appropriate. Um, Interestingly, you, for your to-do list, the thing to do this month, you got temperance. And this is such an interesting interpretation of temperance. Um, Temperance is about balance and harmony. So temperance is the ultimate Libran card. And so I think stepping into your Libranness, stepping into those innate gifts you have to see the middle path, or to see the way through, so that everybody gets what they need. Um, that's a really important piece this month. Making sure that you're not out of balance, making sure that you're not giving more than you are getting. With the eclipses in your 6th and 12th house, That is a possibility. You could give more than you are getting. And what these cards are telling me is that you do have a space of abundance, and that you can find the middle ground, but just to be careful not to give more of yourself than you're getting back, or give yourself in ways that you don't want to, or areas that aren't serving your purpose. All right, for our oracle card, you got "You're Not for Everyone." Again, you can't make this stuff up. This is fits really well in these sixth house, 12th house themes of service and of monitoring your health and making sure that you're taking care of yourself. Um, so it says, yeah, you're not for everybody. And then below it, it says, embrace your weirdness, face your true north. So I think that's exciting. I think that really speaks to, there's some abundance, there's some really lovely, lovely energy. And you know, as a Libra rising, perhaps you are not always as willing to go out on a limb and really like be different. But I think this month, that is your invitation. Be a little weird, be different. Be weird in a good way, of course, um, which I know you will because you're a Libra rising. All right, my friends, I hope this was helpful. If it is, please like, subscribe, share this with somebody, help me grow this channel, and I would much, much appreciate it. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.